say right now. Okay, looking at this, aside from the missing P, which I will update later today, okay, for you guys, for me too, that bugs me. Applied to. Okay, so this is a little bit of geometry, okay? This is something that will help you guys in your future assignments and so forth. Now, lately this pencil hasn't been my favorite. All right, so take a look at what I'm about to do here. If I was to say to you guys, let's say, what's a line? And most people would say, the minute you connect a point to another point, this becomes a line. Do you guys agree? Are we good with that? Yeah? All right. So basically, guys, so just so you know, like to geometricians in the past, sacred geometry, applied geometry, like if you take a line, for example, right now, as I'm doing right now, and you have point A and point B, and I'm drawing really, I'm not in the right angle right now, so it's going to be very restrictive. Let me just make a new layer here for you guys to see what I'm talking about. So imagine you're sitting at your table and you take out your old compass, right? The little set that we used to have as kids. I know I used to have it, a metal case, and it would be a compass. And you go, what do you do with it? It's a protractor in there and so forth, right? So if you take point A and point B, for example, right now, right, and you just make an arc with it, okay? So you just go just like that, just make an arc, point A to point B, and then you draw with it, and then you draw again with this one. And I'm just being really weird here because I'm drawing loosely, and it's really hard to do this perfectly on in a digital environment. Okay. Anyhow, so basically, there's a connection point here, and believe it or not, if you connect these points, you get yourself a beautiful triangle. Okay. So that's one. And you're going, well, how does this affect us with logo design? Well, all of this is connected, and you'll see why in a second, okay? If I take a straight line up here and connect there, so this will say point C for now, and make it different than what I have there, and coming straight across, this will be a perfect square, okay? So when you're thinking of typography and you're looking at letters, for example, let's say the letter T right now, this is what your warm up would be. If you have the initials T in your name, so you would just go over your line work like this, right? Just like what I'm showing you guys down here, wherever this is. Not going to come up. Let's go. Where are you, baby? Here it is. Okay. Let's just bring this up here. Yeah, it's drawing fundamentals. You'll see that what I've done is I'm talking about these shapes, but ultimately you want to be able to create a circle within a square. And you'll see the value that when I get here. You see this here, guys? You see T and O? Okay, and basically in the stonemasons, let's say Roman times, for example, and they're using this letter here. But what they did is they had to come in here because they couldn't chisel things perfectly, right? So they would just chisel things with these ticks, which became serif points, right? I don't know about this pencil. Not loving it. Okay, so serif point. These are ticks, right? Basically, this tick here, right? So if you look at this right now, is geometrically, there's a lot going on here, okay? So remember when I was working on this and I said to you guys, we can come in here and go diagonally and find the center point. This is going to help you guys later in perspective drawing. So if I go through this middle point and go up and down, I divided this square, right? And you guys know within this square, we have also a circle. And the way I do that is I divide this into thirds. And it's not just me, I've learned this. This is not my invention. You divide this line into thirds, right? You can end up having a second box, look, and a third box, see, right there. So what we know within the boxes, if we just kind of connect this point here, you will have a perfect arc. This right here, boom, like that. And that point to here, and then so on and so on. So you'll get a perfect circle. So what's happening here, believe it or not, is this. Look. Okay, so this is that part. So for you guys, what you're going to submit by tomorrow is this, you practicing these lines. So if you are working on your initials, the idea is you go over your line work, right? Let's go into this pencil here. Where is it? Here, let's go to another layer, okay? And let's go to my, yes. Okay, so let's say I'm going to take the letter A, for example, for me, right? I can go diagonally, I can stylize this. So, the practice is to go over your line work, right? And everything. So if I see somebody do this, that means you haven't been in my course, right? The minute you even doodle, and if you want to continue this and watch what I'm doing here, I can come in here and I should now do this, right? There's a bit of geometry going on here. There's that line that connects here. That's that invisible. Look at these two. Look at the bottom. There's a lot being done here in a short period of time. So look at this. This all connects here. Okay, nice. The minute I fatten this up, I thicken it up. Okay, thicken it up. So there's some language here. So what I'm looking for from you guys is practice. Practice these line work before you attempt working on your logo initials, okay? So let's make another layer here. Let's see what we got here, Balian. What do you got? No, not that. That's my beats in the background. Let's bring this one back. So you can see here, I practice diagonal lines. I started making boxes. The letter P is meant. So this here is really an example for you guys to appreciate that if, like here, like if you look at the P, look, I've taken aspects of this, right? Can you do a K, for example? Oh, a K, for example. Absolutely. I would love to do K. I can do any letter. It doesn't matter, right? Okay, so remember, sorry, I'm going to bring this back, all right? So let's look at what we're going to take from this. See these diagonal lines, horizontal lines, and vertical lines. That's all a K is, right? So this is not stylized. This is just simple, simple shapes, right? So look, guys, the letter K, first off, you can go like this. Okay, so I just made up a new style right now. And I can say that's K. I can come in here, draw another K. Look, I can come in here and fan this up, and I'm going to go, you know what, here, I'm going to keep this thin, and I'm going to do this one here. So these are just lines, and notice how I'm going over my work, guys. Okay, I can come in here and now add a little tick here, for example. I'm stylizing it. Okay, when I'm going to see you guys practice, I want to see you guys go over your work, okay? Don't be just happy with that, okay? So the logo and the line work due tomorrow. Tomorrow is not the logo, it's the line work only. I want you guys to practice these first, like practice making these shapes. Get used to this. Is really warm up, guys. Really, look, I'm going back and forth, diagonal, 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 parallel, parallel, parallel. You guys know that I can come in here and I can make little boxes in here like this, and now all of a sudden I have the letter T. And if I want this to come down, I could do some cool stuff. I can go diagonal. These are all the things you've been practicing already. There's nothing new. This could be done in 20 minutes, this warm-up activity. Only if, forget 20 minutes, a little longer than that, to give it justice. Every letter that you draw in here that you're practicing with, come in here. Look, I can even have this tapered. So look, you can do a tapered line. Nobody said it has to be perfectly parallel, right? I can make a K like this, right? Just having a blast here, just experimenting, right? Look, this could be a new letter. You can make a living by creating your own language here of letters. Typography is the art of communicating words, right? But efficiently, effectively, stylistically, and so forth. I love this stuff. I could do a whole course on this and bore you guys to hell, okay? So sorry to use the word hell. It would bore you to tears. How's that? Okay, so look at all the different K's and T's I'm doing, okay? This is like a favorite example of mine. Let me just go in here for a second. I love this show, by the way. I don't know many of you have watched this at your age group, but to me, this was such a The Matrix. How many of you have actually watched The Matrix? You can practice with any letters you want. The point is to practice. Sahana, woohoo! Yes, Sahana, you've worked on it, eh? Sweet. I mean, you've seen it. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Let's go to images for a second. Okay, look how cool this is. I used to make people in my grade 10 and 11 classes and in grade 9 recreate this, and it's seconds. This is so beautiful. Like if I look at this now, let me just go back for a second and crank the tools here, and I'm just going to go size large. I'm going to take a screen grab and hopefully I can bring this in. What size is this? And okay, let's see what I can do here. Let me just see if I could just do this. Command Shift 4. Thank you. We got one person who's watched this. Sundakor, you have, and this blew my mind. You don't know how much money I spent on this movie. I watched this movie. I'm not going to tell you the official time, how many times I've gone to the movies. When this came out, it was a game changer for me. It was like, who's doing this? How many people are working on it? How are they doing this? All these things blew my mind, okay? So you'll see here in a second. Let me just make a new layer. I'm going to go to my desktop over here. Hopefully there's a screen grab somewhere here. Yes, let's bring it on here. I'll analyze this to you in a second, okay? You'll see, I'm sure all of you know the font Times New Roman. What is going on here? Why can't this come in? Oh, wait, insert as a new layer. Oh, it is coming on. Oh, it's maybe up here somewhere. What? Hang on a second. Kiski Spaces. Oh, there it is. Of course, yeah, the software always brings it to the top. So, hang on. Stay with me on this. Okay, so basically, okay? So don't do that. Okay, leave it like this. All right, let's leave it like that. Bye-bye to that one. Lock this. Lock the layer. Okay, so far you guys are seeing this, right? Okay, so imagine, I don't know who this person is that came up with this logo. The identity for this movie, it's absolutely brilliant. It's mind-bending. It's very philosophical. It's more deconstructivist in approach, and a lot of the philosophers I was reading kind of connect to this at the time. Anyway, there's so many connections to it. So let me explain a couple things to you guys. Okay, so let's look at the letter T. Okay, so here you are analyzing, right? This is the letter T here as the way they took it. So Times New Roman basically is this. Look, I'm just going to go over my line work here. I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to fan this up here, and I'm just going to come down here with my serifs, text right here, beauty, done. Okay, so something like this. So what did this designer do? And I'm telling you right now, this wasn't done within 2 minutes. This is a brilliant artist, and somehow, if anyone can find out who designed this, I'm going to give you a bonus mark in this course because this is brilliant. So what this person basically did, let's see if I can pull this off. They came in here and did this. Look, they came in here and said, oh, yeah, deconstruct, take things apart. Oh, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm going to do this. Watch this. Press the move tool. Right there, starting point. What? You're looking at this going, like, this was such a departure from what I had seen in the past in terms of logos, fonts, typography. There used to be this magazine called Raygun, and I used to buy it because it had this kind of typography in there. Okay, so look, they took what exists already and took it apart. So this is a high level of thinking. So remember, if you can take the fundamentals and then have fun with it, meaning you can do a lot of twists. Yes, AB, yes, for us. Back to back. Yeah, I'm with you. That's what I've done. A lot of my AB like that as well. Yeah, like, yeah, see, like, let's see, let me go change this brush, please. This one. Yes, you can do that. Absolutely. You could do that. And, like how you have this here that turns. Yes, totally, totally, totally works. But what you do next is just look at that sketch that you just showed me, right? My lines are too thick here. Let's just make this smaller. So what I'd like you to see, what I like to see you guys do is practice these shapes, right? Over and over. And then sometimes what you can do is, I'm not, and this is not an easy part to ask. I don't know what access you have to software, but sometimes what people will do when they have an idea, they'll go back and use the fonts, the typefaces. Hang on. They'll look up like if you're in Illustrator, Photoshop, or Microsoft Word, you go into Word and you type in, look at the various fonts, then you stylize it. So don't worry about stylizing right now. For the sake of the drawing fundamentals activity for this, it's not about stylization. It's more of you practicing, right? So let's say the X, right? So I can come in here and go here. There, I'm done, Mr. Balian. But a better approach would be go over it a couple times and then give it definition. Just go over it. The minute you guys go over things, things will start happening. I don't know how much I can emphasize, how much more I can do this. Those are the brothers who made the movie. Yeah, I know who that is, Krish. It's just the people. Is it the brothers who came up with the logo? Which I don't think so. Yeah, the Wachowski brothers, yes. So look, So you practice other letters, right? Like let's say an R, what does it include? It includes an oval shape, but in reality, this curve here, watch this. This curve here, how is it made? It's made by geometric principles, right? It's made by this square. Look, this is the square, right? You guys know if we just bring in this diagonal here and divide it into thirds, we should have a perfect circle. So look, perfect arc, perfect arc, right? I can come in here and make another square, and then now I can divide this. Now look at this. This can all become part of the P. This is what I mean by geometry, folks. This is something that's not taught anymore. I don't know why. But look at what I'm doing here. Look, I can make these squares. These are slab fonts. Don't worry, you don't need to know any of these terminology. But look at this, okay? This is cool. Do you guys see this? Do you see the actual P, the curve, how it came about? I hope you guys understand that, right? Just for a second, can I say how much I love the Mandalorian? What? Okay, all right. Sorry. Just the making of the Mandalorian blew my mind. Okay, so leave that alone. Let's come back. Let's have fun. So when you are making these kind of curves in your name, remember that geometry is fundamental here. Okay. Yes, Janushin, it is the best. I agree. Like the Mandalorian blew my mind, and then watching the making of, really inspiring stuff. Do you guys see that? So this is what I'm trying to say to you guys. Don't worry about your initials. First, practice drawing. Like right now, I'm seeing somebody's initials, SA, right? Right. So look, I'm gonna go S, right? I'm gonna practice the S. I'm gonna go over the S a few times, right? And then, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to draw it again. Can I do it differently? Maybe I want to do it more like this, bunch of lines, right? And then maybe I want to add something here eventually. So this is an opportunity for you guys to practice and experiment, right? Look at how different that S is from this to that, right? Now, I'm a big fan of KISS when I was a kid, and they had this for KISS, right? KISS, right? KISS Army. I was part of the KISS, the band, right? So whatever, like you can have various things, right? So remember, like experiment. I'm looking at somebody's initials, ZA, right? So let's go make a new one. So look, I'm just gonna go like this, gonna go like that, and there's my Z for Zorro, right? What can you do with this? Well, just go over your name, go over your letters, and see what you can do. This is not part of. This is just to kind of build um, your ability to sketch loosely. That's what I want from you guys by tomorrow. Okay, end of day, end of like you have a whole day tomorrow to do this. Okay, so Z. I'm looking at initials DP now, right? So there's my D. I can go like that. Look, boom, right there. I can go to P. I can make a block letter. Turn this over like that. So have fun. Like look at other people's initials and see what you can do. I'm looking at P and P. Well, yeah, I could obviously do this, right? But this is hard to read. So if I say Pat Polanski or whatever, I'm making names up now, right? Then I'll know what this stands for, right? Right now, I don't know what that is. So have fun with it. That's why I'm asking you guys to seriously consider practicing. Where am I here? Wrong interface. Hold on. This one. See how I'm practicing all these shapes? This will help you. Yes, can't wait for season 3. I know. I'm scared. Yeah, season 3. Tell me more. Okay, guys. So see, I was just gonna go like this, as if it's a tablet. So practice these shapes and appreciate them, right? Oh, somebody here can say, "Hey, I'm a wizard, Mr. Bellion, in the wizard family." So let's go in here. And they're a Harry Potter fan, for example. What if one of you guys wanted to, for example, uh, take their initials? If you later on when you're doing the logo assignment, you go, oh, yeah, we're doing this kind of stuff with isometric. I remember what Brian was saying. What if I can map one of my letters here? What? What? Watch this. What if I can map my letters like this over the cube and maybe connect these two and this becomes my logo? There is so much we can do here, guys. There is so much, okay? So look, I can come in here and do this. Look, see? You guys, there's so much to initials working with this. I'm not saying you guys need to do this. I'm just saying to you that um, each year, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, I go through this and I add more. So don't worry about such things. Right now, practice. How do you take a box and add another box? How do you make these two shapes interesting? The only way you can make them interesting is by going over the line work, right? Giving emphasis. Emphasis is going over your work. So now my eye immediately goes right in here as opposed to the outside one, right? Later on, this will be the method, which we'll talk about tomorrow. This will be the method of us breaking this up and putting our initials, our name. We're going to be looking at shapes and how do these shapes work. It doesn't matter what the letters are in here. Okay, it doesn't. It's how do these shapes come together as a main option, as a main construct, as a form of communication. Does this make sense to you guys? Guys, I'm prepping you. Please, this is easy marks. Go with the drawing fundamentals. Do the exercise and get a level 4 on it. It's easy, easy peasy marks, okay? Look, see here, you don't have to do what I just did here. Like forget this business. Just stick to this for now, okay? Doesn't mean like now I got to go challenge myself and do the cube. No. Look, I can come in here and I can make this interesting, right? And then you guys also saw how, if I'm talking too fast, it's because we have 10 minutes left. Yeah, guys, look, you see all this? Look how sweet this is, right? Look what I did here. I practiced around. I'm trying to figure out another way of having my initials done. So I went in here and I went AB, Alexi, Balian, like really different, going across as a patch. At the end of the day, this whole thing is like a patch that you put on your shirt, on your jacket, on your shoes, on your school bag, and so forth. So if I come in here on the grade 10 animation, graphic design, you will see what we did together. We've already started this. Look, we've done all this. I've prepped you for it. Okay, look. We did all this in class. I took Pervin's work, I took Dev's work, and I put it together. And I said, look at all the things you can do. So this is already done, in my opinion, but I'm giving you formal time for it. Okay. So look, this is what I did while I was watching The Mandalorian. No, I couldn't take my eyes off. Actually, because I watched it again with my boys Eve. New Year's Eve. We watched the entire season 2 together. And I was playing around and, I'm trying to add, this is later, I'll talk about this tomorrow, but this is where you're going, where you take certain influences and you start stylizing. But you can't do this if you can't draw freely, right? If you can't draw freely, and of course I'm missing a P there, Balian, applied, two P's, I think, APP, yeah, something like that. If you can't do this freely, you're not going to get to the next level, okay? So I'm just going to leave it at this. How many minutes is my run on sentences here? Many, many minutes. Okay, so just one more time. So this is why I always say, let's warm up. Let's warm up. Go over your line work. Go over your line work. And afterwards, come in here, make little shapes. If you start doing stuff like this, you submit it. You submit this to me, it means that you're understanding the importance of geometry. Look, you can do another square like this and come in here and go, hey, Mr. Bellion, I get this. I'm going to go diagonal. Oh, cool. So that's the center point. That's me in perspective. If I was to draw something in perspective and you want me to find the center, that's the center. If I didn't know this, I would have picked something over here with the eye, but that's not how it is. So you see that all this connects later, okay? I'm not saying you're doing this. What I'm saying to you is like the stuff that I'm teaching you here will work in other applications. Okay, so trust me on it when I say that. Okay, so in here you can have a triangle, you can make that part of your name. I don't know, then you can do a cutout in here. Look, you can make some really cool stuff in here, right? One's high, one is low. I don't know what this is. Maybe this could be the bottom of K. Who knows, right? And somebody can come in here and just do this part. Now it's a new L. Look, okay? If you don't sketch like this, you don't have the freedom of being creative, of being, I don't want to keep using that word creative. It's just that loose sketching gives you very powerful, um, opportunity to build on. Like it's a stepping stone to many things, guys. Look, this could be my new H, right? So look, I'm just making this stuff up now. Look, could this be an H? I don't know. I can come back later and then start making stuff up, right? This could be the X-wing for Star Wars. Somebody made this, right? So that's the logo, right? So if you look at this, this is one of those, sorry, TIE fighters or whatever. Not an X-wing. Yeah. Okay. So this is the letter H. I can make my H look like this. But this is the point that I'm trying to say to you guys. Have fun with coming up with ideas. This is what loose sketching does. It's not about making this like that. That's not what I'm looking for. If I see that, you didn't understand what we're talking about, okay? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to just experiment. Play around with this. Stuff will come. Look, I can come in here and change this up. This could be two letters for Pete's sakes. Look, this could be a T and an L, but that only happens if I play around. Okay, that's all. I'm going to leave it at that. It's a short, quick blast about sketching, stepping stone to graphic design, logo design. And there isn't a field out there, by opinion, that doesn't use these techniques in the creative realm. Even medical science, people are sketching their ideas. You're writing formulas. You're scribbling, but if you go over your scribble and all of a sudden it'll make sense. Oh, that's a C. I didn't know that because it was just this. So I don't know what that is. But if I go over it, this could become a letter and so forth. Okay? I'm going to stop there somehow. Hopefully this worked. Last time I did this while we were live in class, Camtasia crashed royally. So let's say thank you, shut her down. Bye bye on this one.